Let's get into it today on the basketball side with the Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball head coach Greg Gard and his brother. Don't shake a stick at this. Platteville's the real deal. UW-Platteville's men's basketball head coach Jeff Gard.
Got to have Greg Gard play.
Shut up and sit down.
And so here they are, the Gard brothers, Wisconsin basketball icons at University of Wisconsin, of course, as well as UW-Platteville. I mean, we go way back, but it's Coach Greg Gard and Coach Jeff Gard with us on Inside Wisconsin. What's up, fellas?
Hey, how we doing?
Hey, guys.
The Platteville-roots here run really, really deep. I mean, it's basically, right, this is all the way back to high school is where this is your stomping ground. This is where you grew up. I just want to know, I have been 35 years covering this profession in sports and watching, and I want to know what kind of parents let their kids go into coaching, not one of them, let alone two of them. I get that it's kids and it's rewarding, but it's a hellish profession, quite frankly. And I just want to know what kind of one, let alone two, go into this thing.
Well, I was a trailblazer, John, so I paved the way, and he had a much smoother path than I did. I got a lot of what the heck are you doing?
Yes.
Comments from, and why don't you get a real – one was actually, when are you going to get a real job? So that obviously about 5 years ago, it turned extremely real. So I don't have to deal with that question anymore. But no, I mean, it was just something where we, kind of followed or found a passion, and not that we didn't have other things that we liked, but they let us go with it. They let us run with it, and they encouraged it and supported it, albeit a few sidebar comments once in a while when you weren't making peanuts or doing a lot of volunteer stuff. But I think it's all turned out pretty good for both of us.
Yeah, Jeff, it's you guys and Gary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, does Gary coach someplace? What does he do?
Gary helps out with the youth programs up in Partyville. I think it was kind of by default a little bit. They said, you got two brothers that coach, you got to know something as well. But, Greg and I have always joked around about it as well. He's the smart one. He's in the ag business, so he followed the route of Dad and what Dad was in with being an ag loan officer as well. But, Gary kind of got into the market a little bit, the ag side of things. But, and he was also one, ironically, Gary was the one that played 4 years of college athletics, playing college football. And Greg and I found out early that our best route would be a coach, not a player.
That's awesome.
He's more affectionately known as Cooper Manning. all his buddies have coined him Cooper of the family when you got Peyton and Eli. So,
jeez. The Badgers, huge victory in Vegas at the Maui Invitational. And if you would have sat here in the beginning of the season and said you already had a championship under your belt, Coach, you probably wouldn't say that to be true. But ironically, of these two guard guys, Jeff has the better record at the moment. As we record this, Platteville 6-0, the Badgers 5-1. Guys, how's the start of the season going?
Well, his is obviously better than mine by a game.
One less game. That's the only difference there. But no, it's I like the group that we got. Obviously, we got a lot of experience back from, I don't want to say just last year. I mean, we graduated 3 guys off of last year's team, but I've got a bulk of the guys that were part of the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, and a fifth-year senior class that's now won 4 championships in a row with me. Obviously, aspirations of number 5, but when you have that experience, and it's kind of the opposite of what Greg's got. I've got older guys, he's got younger guys, but I tell you what, watching them this weekend in Vegas, what a remarkable accomplishment for them.
I've said about this group many times here in Madison that these guys experience so much in their careers before they get to college that having younger guys, freshmen, I'm starting a freshman point guard and Chucky Hepburn, and 20 years ago that was headline news. Now it's they have so much experience between AAU and high school and all the different venues they play in before they ever get to college. And I think sometimes that's the drama or the emotional, dramatic component of it isn't what it used to be just because of where they've been and what they've done. But, our group, I've liked them from the summer. I just wanted to see how they were going to stack up when we started into real games. I thought we had a chance to be pretty good in time. I didn't know, how we would, respond and react. But it's a pretty gritty group. It's a pretty resilient group. So that's a good characteristic to have as you're starting out a season.
So, John, about 3-4 weeks ago, I spent a beautiful fall Wisconsin morning touring UW-Platteville's campus.
Okay.
And it was awesome to see Bo Ryan Court. Greg and Jeff, we actually had Coach Ryan and Will on the show a couple months back, and Coach Bo Ryan was very concerned where people spit on Bo Ryan Court.
You know, we talk about mentors and people that you got to connect with. Anytime the family gets together, I can pick Greg's brain, which then obviously is like picking Coach Ryan's brain. It was, you know, learn from those that have kind of made the trail for you, but you also got to be able to put your own stamp on it. You got to be your own self. And obviously it's pretty easy to look at what people have done when they've been so successful and been successful in the same seat at this university. And Platteville's a unique spot, you know, and obviously it takes special people to be successful here when you're talking about the student athletes. And, you know, I think that's the one thing I've really tried to embrace of you get our type of guys. And I think that's the same thing that I can kind of see with Wisconsin as well, and what Greg's done up there as well as what Bo's done up there too.
So, Greg, talk a little bit about how much Coach Ryan means to you and the handoff, obviously, the program. And, I mean, you followed him. Obviously, you were with him in Platteville and then Milwaukee and then Wisconsin. I mean, just take us back a little bit. What does this Bo Ryan tree of coaching look like and mean to you?
Well, I think it's, Trevor, it's something that you never completely appreciate until you're, you know, it's like anything in life. I think once you've gone through it, and then you can really reflect back and appreciate the times that you had together. And Bo and I, since he's retired, probably even more lately than ever, have reminisced and kind of connected on some of those things because it was such a successful run. Obviously 3 national championships in 6 years. I was with him at Platteville, and then the transition to Division I, which was a new world for all of us. And then obviously Wisconsin shortly thereafter. So it just, I think one thing that stands out, you know, regardless of level, and we talk about this with our players all the time, don't get caught up in the Roman numeral behind the school, because good basketball knows no level. And how you win, and how, I mean, there's a lot of ways to be successful, and there's a lot of ways to play, but I think being able to really see and embrace how we were able to be successful in Platteville and how it translated to the 2 other schools, and terminology, the players became bigger, faster, and stronger, but the terminology and the how-to was very much the same. You know, fundamentals win in any sport. So I think just, you know, really experiencing that when maybe the outside world thinks there needs to be some big splash, there's some quick fix. There's really not. It's really about, you know, in football, you better be able to block and tackle. In baseball, you were able to run the bases well, hit your cutoff people, you know, just do the little things well. And I think Bo's ability to communicate and stay true to that over the course of time, you know, is what probably resonates the most.
I want to then talk about the UW system, which obviously Greg Madison sits at the head of that, and you now have the big job. When I grew up, and there was no bigger star than Al McGuire at Marquette. But if you go through my senior high school athletic banquet, we had a great coach come in by the name of Dick Bennett that spoke. You look at what Bo Ryan has done in there in GB when I grew up, what Dave Butts does. Like the coaching talent that is in the UW system at, like you said, lower level, whatever, D1, D2, D3. There's really been some significant guys there that then have gone on to do great things. Do you feel like then that recognition has come to places like Stevens Point or Platteville or, you know, UWM, these other spots, because of some of these great names that people look at that and go, yeah, there's good basketball coaches there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pieces to that, John, in terms of how it gets there. I think you look at Coach Bennett and Coach Ryan, both cut their teeth in college in that league, which at that time was the WSUC. And I think that's still the best Division III league in the country, top to bottom. I think that the national tournament proves that out. But I mean, you had great coaches in that league, and you still do. I mean, you go back through the walk of yesteryear, Dave Vandermeulen at Whitewater, You know, you mentioned Stevens Point. It was, you know, it was Dick Bennett. Then it was, you know, Bob Parker. And, you know, River Falls was Rick Bowen. You had Ken Anderson at Eau Claire. Obviously Bo at Platteville. So, you know, it's just the lineage of coaches that have come through there. And I think the one thing that really helped Coach Ryan and Coach Bennett have success, not only at Stevens Point and Green Bay and Platteville, but it set them up for success at Wisconsin and at Milwaukee in Bo's case, was that they understood how you needed to develop a program and how you needed to play given the talent that could be acquired in your state. And both had a very good grasp of how to be successful with what they were able to coach. And I think both of them learned that. Dick obviously coached in a lot of different high schools. Bo coached out in Pennsylvania in high school before he came on Bill Cofield's staff in 76. So I think part of that small college or high school background in terms of being a teacher first helped put that in place, that foundation in place for what could allow them to be successful at the higher levels, that they understood what the state of Wisconsin was about. They knew the level of talent that could be and how you had to play given the level of talent to utilize or to have student athletes from the state on your roster. So I think the combination of a lot of those avenues helped create Bo and Coach Bennett's careers and really, I think, gave them the blueprint to how to do it at a higher level.
Jeff, anything to add to that from a Wisconsin coaching standpoint?
You know, I the one thing I would probably say, and it was always told to me as well, Greg told it to me. I know Coach Ryan mentioned it as well. Be great where you're at, you know, and I think with Coach Bennett, with Coach Ryan, there was never aspirations of them getting to Green Bay or getting to Wisconsin. It was, we're at Stevens Point, we're at Platteville, we're going to make it the very best while we're here, and success will get us noticed. And I don't think they were ever looking to make a jump. And I think that again kind of shows the strength of the state league is the fact that you have great coaches that don't want to leave, because as we say, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I think that's been proven. You know, you look at the coaches that are in our league right now, we've got a lot of guys that have been around here for quite a while. And not only the fact that we've been head coaches for quite a while, I'm going into my 13th year, but out of the 8 coaches in the league, I want to say 7 of them, maybe 6 of them have been assistant coaches prior to taking over as head coaches. So there was success that was going on. There was opportunities for them to leave or for us to leave to go somewhere else, but we always felt that this was the best fit for us.
Wisconsin head coach Greg Gard and UW-Platteville head coach Jeff Gard. We are inside Wisconsin with the Gards back in a bit.
Inside Wisconsin is brought to you by Baycare Clinic, Cobblestone Creek, the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, Mill Home Supper Club, Festival Foods, Capital Credit Union, North Star Mohican Casino Resort, American Family Insurance, and Roll Tech.
Day A, inside Wisconsin and American Family Insurance. We're calling it Quotes for a Cause. Pretty awesome.
I like it. I want to learn more, and I'm glad that we are a part of this with American Family. My thought is, listen, if it's good enough to be on the Brewer Stadium or you can put it on Steve Stricker's sleeve, that is a great partner, great neighborhood. I'm glad we're there.
Us too. We are glad we're here with them. It's Quotes for a Cause. Head to insidewisconsin.com/AmFam. Get a quote, and your local participating agent will donate $5 to Habitat for Humanity. John Anderson's going to come and build houses. I just signed you up for that.
Listen, my dad, Collins Custom Basement, for years, donated a basement to Habitat Humanity every year. That he went out and did that in the Green Bay, Brown County area. So I can't think of a better partner, and I can't think of a better cause, especially in and around the holidays, right? Gosh, if you can get somebody home for a holiday and get them in and get them shelter and put that Christmas tree up or have that Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it is, boy, that'd be special, and we are lucky that we get the chance to be a part of it.
InsideWisconsin.com/AmFam. It's Quotes for a Cause. Go and work with your local American Family Insurance agent. Go there now. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.